We're going to check in with a couple more rock stars as well. I want to get the thoughts of Mick Jagger and Ronnie Wood on this game. Let's do it.
I'm actually going to see England versus Norway in Miami.
Is it coming home?
I'll be cheering for England.
Yeah.
That is.
And Thomas Tuchel is my mate and he keeps me posted all the time.
Oh my God. Oh,
yeah.
Dropping names.
He's going to win.
Dropping names.
What a mate to have.
It's a good mate to have.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
I mean, Erling Haaland is capturing the minds, the imagination of kids all around the world watching the World Cup. This fella is an absolute megastar. Hammer time, says the paper. And here is the Manchester City superstar before this clash against England.
I think there's some clear favourites out there. England's one of them, so I think all of you should put every single pressure on the English lads.
I mean, I know exactly what he's doing, obviously, but they're playing with house money here, and they're having fun doing it as well. And he makes a little point. All the pressure is on England to deliver in this moment, Macca.
Yeah, England are favourites. They were one of the favourites going into the tournament. The fact that they've gotten to this position after the Mexico game suggests that they should, on paper, be too strong for Norway. So, you know, I totally agree with what Erling Haaland says. It's up to the English boys to go out and, you know, make it realistic and get the job done and move on to the semi-finals. We're tougher assignments away, but all the pressure is on England. Thomas Tuchel was brought in to get over the line and win the trophy. It's going to be hard enough, but they should dispatch Norway on paper, generally.
We were having dinner last night, the three of us, and I'm making the point for the momentum of Norway and this infectious enthusiasm around the entire country and their fan base. But you made the point, you're like, yeah, well, England have that as well.
100%. Like, England have just been to Mexico, where many people thought that they would stumble, given their history in the World Cup, generally speaking. And they suffered their way through a win there. That matters a lot. So many people will say back in England were staying up till, say, silly o'clock to watch this game, and they felt like they witnessed history at that point. Obviously, that wasn't their final, but it was a moment where they can take significant momentum from it. So I think from an England perspective, the energy's there, but all these teams in these last rounds, everybody's had a positive moment to get them to this stage. You know, we could talk about, for example, Belgium beating the USA and so on, Spain beating Iberian rivals in Portugal. But it's going to be a very, very interesting time. I think firstly, I'm obviously incredibly biased as a Man City supporter. I love Erling Haaland, yeah. But one of the reasons I love him is because he's got this sense of, like, humility towards himself, and especially at this World Cup, his nation. You remember his interview he did after the second game, which they won in their group, where he was asked about France, you know, it's this head-to-head thing, you and Mbappe, this, that and the other. He's like, I don't care. I don't care, because for Norway, the fact that they've made it out the group is a huge achievement. That's them making history themselves. And I think he has that feel and connection to the fan base and those people of Norway, not just this player who, you know, has seen the highest of highs as well.
Which is so diametrically opposed, Archie, to how he would feel at Manchester City, given that they're mainly favourites in every game that they play. Give us a sense of what the feeling is like around Erling Haaland, where you are in Oslo.
For me, it's been a case of trying to count the Haaland shirts. And just as a reminder, there was a batch of shirts that were delivered here the other day, and people were queuing for hundreds and hundreds of metres to try and get their hands just on a Norway shirt, let alone an Erling Haaland one. So that is seen as something as a very prized possession. And of course there is pride at the fact that he is a global superstar.
Okay, he's coming back.
The way that he carries himself has also been valued by them a lot.
I think you could drop him into WWE. I think he's that sort of character that has that charisma. My son has just started taking an interest in football because of Erling Haaland, because he plays Minecraft, because he's on YouTube. He's that sort of megastar that will not fear this occasion, Adrian Healy, and will not fear going up against his teammate Mark Gahey in England.
No, he won't, Kev, and that's if Gahey is fit to play. We're hearing some pretty dodgy reports about that. But England know Haaland very well, don't they? And they know it's basically going to boil down to, can they cut off the service to him? I think they can. They've got to make sure he goes on his right-hand side rather than his left. The right-back position remains a bit of an issue and a question mark. But really, I mean, that's what this game boils down to for England, in my view. It's like, can they stop Haaland? Because if Haaland doesn't score, then there's every chance England win. Even if he does score, there's every chance England win. I feel confident going into this. I don't know about you guys. I really do. That grit and determination and togetherness that they produced in Mexico, as long as that wasn't a one-off and they're riding high on the emotion of that and slack off here, I don't see any sign of that happening under Thomas Tuchel. If they can produce even 75% of that intensity here at Miami Stadium, I think that will be enough.
Adrian, you're like the David Hasselhoff of Miami, man. Pitbull's got nothing on you.
Mr. Worldwide.
Shining down there. Oh, go get yourself some sunscreen, pal. Thanks a million for joining us, Adrian and Archie. Top stuff as always. So much talk about Balogun and Balagate. Well, what about Quansah? This guy has an extra game added to his suspension. What did you make of this, Nedum?
The timing of this, everything about it, it's a bit wild. Like, the red card is a red card, that's fine. In terms of it being upgraded, I don't necessarily see the logic in that. But I think what makes it worse from my standpoint is that you will not see the framework that led to that decision being given either. I think we could maybe make the case, for example, I think the Qatari player that broke the leg of the Canadian, the centre midfielder, Kone.
Yeah.
You got a 5-game ban. And the tackle itself, as you look at it, because I saw that somebody had broken their leg, so I went to look at the incident, and I thought, wow, he's a bit unlucky there, both players, and that's 5 games. So in terms of the logic that they put forward for this, we don't know what it is. FIFA will never tell us what it is, but everyone always, as we saw with the suspended suspension, they'll just do it and say, well, this article says we can, and then we just have to sit there and just accept it, which is ridiculous.
Modibo, the player in question for Qatar. What are your thoughts on Quansah?
Yeah, again, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to anything at the moment. Is the Balogun one gets rescinded, he gets 2. As Nedum said, the other person got 5. There's nothing you can do about it apart from being incredibly frustrated with the scenario about it all. It's very unfortunate for Jirel because he probably won't take part. You know, even if they get to the final, he's not going to play in the final. He'll stick with whoever's going to play. So that's really unfortunate, but. As for the rules and regulations, we just don't know, do we? Because they're not forthcoming and telling us the truth, really.
Yeah, fair point. Look, we're praising the French defence, obviously the Spanish defence as well, yet to concede. And here they are, the English injury concerns right now, Gahey being one big one. Where are you at with this English defence, Nedum?
To be honest, I'm okay with it because I think from my perspective, looking at England, one of the issues I think I have is that most people, when they talk about them, they judge them according to their own sort of like perspective on England, their own sort of standards. But within the competition itself, you could make a case that obviously Gahey's potentially out now, but Gahey and Quansah, or say like Gahey and Stones, that's one of the best pairings that's still left in this competition. But they're being criticised more so than, say, other pairings. Because, you know, even earlier we were talking about like Kubasi and Laporte, like they're good players, but are they like 2 of the best centre-halves that this tournament's got left in? And you can look all the way through. You could say Romero and Lisandro Martinez, like they've won the World Cup before, but are they the pairing that you would want to guarantee you success? I'm not 100% sure. And I think England, from a defensive standpoint, especially given the way that Mexico game went the other day, I think they showed a level of competitiveness which they need to show. They can do stuff on the ball, great, but all those players that play in those positions, they want to defend.
Yeah, I wonder who Haaland would rather play against, Gahey or Stones, given that he knows them so well. All right, let us know what you guys think. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, we are back at it, the 3 of us. What a trident
we
are.
Go again, my friend, we go again.
We do. 9 a.m. ESPN News, more England-Norway talk.